Okay. Here we go. You ready? Step 1, write down the 2 molecules. So I'm on number 2. I'm on 1 propanol. Two propanol. This one, I don't think anyone's going to be able to think their way through ahead of time. Whenever you move the functional group from one carbon to another, this one I'm just going to tell you, you've got to do an elimination. So you've got to make a double bond. You might want to write that down on your page. If you ever need to move a single bonded functional group, you have to do an elimination. How do I make that last step? What type of reaction is that last step? I'm hoping I've got about a third to half the class with me on this one. What's that last step got to be? Anyone, anyone, anyone? I'm going to ask this question a different way, and I promise if you put your hand up I won't ask you. Does anybody think they know what type of reaction goes from here to here? Is there anyone who thinks this? Uh-oh, we got an issue here, Houston. Listen. Whenever you have a double bond in a carbon chain, and then you put a functional group on, you should know that this is an addition. What are we adding? We added HOH. Folks, when you go from here to here, you are breaking the double bond. Yep. Can we open the curtains up at the back? Maybe natural light will work. We'll see if it does. Maybe even just a little bit. Huh? I don't know. We're going to find out in a minute. Okay, third one. It's 1 propanol. One 2-dichloropropane. As soon as you see that you start with a C double bonded to an oxygen, there's only one thing you can do to it. Does anybody know what you can do with a C double bonded to an O? Ben, put your hand down. Brooke.
Reduce it?
Yeah, you can reduce it. Listen, if you're trying to make a C double bonded to an O, you oxidize. If you're trying to get rid of a C double bonded to an O, you reduce it. When you reduce a C double bonded to an O, what do you make? What do you make when you reduce a C double bonded to an O? Yes, you make an alcohol. Folks, you have to memorize this. You have to get this down. When you are trying to make a C double bonded to an O, you've got an oxidized alcohol. When you're trying to get rid of a C double bonded to an O, you reduce it. Now analyze this molecule and analyze this molecule. We've got a functional group on the first carbon, but we also have one on the second. We learned a rule in the last example that we should now be able to apply right now. Does anybody know what we have to do if we're moving a functional group? Slug. Nope.
Elimination.
Elimination. You have to make a double bond in the carbon chain if you're going to move the functional group. Gotta start doing look-fors. Don't be a macro thinker. Break it down. Look for little clues in here. Anybody? Anybody? What kind of reaction to get from here to here? Ethan?
Addition?
Sorry?
Addition?
Addition it is. Do you know what we're adding in?
Chlorine?
Yep. We are adding in Cl2. Remember, I said one of the things we could add in was X2. Is there anybody in here who can look at the answer that's on the board and follow the answer? Can anyone follow it? We are on number 4. Guys, change it from propene to propanoic acid. So change the propane to propene. You can work forwards or you can work backwards when you're doing these things. This one, I'm going to work backwards. There's only one way to make a carboxylic acid. It's a functional group with a double bonded O in it. Does anybody know how you make a carboxylic acid? Anybody besides Ben? Oh, I see people looking it up. Paris, what do you think?
You have to oxide the carbon.
It's actually an aldehyde that you have to oxidize.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
Excellent. If you have an OH on the end of the chain, you can oxidize it to make an aldehyde, and then you can oxidize that to make a carboxylic acid. Listen, there's 3 oxidations. Secondary alcohol to ketone, primary alcohol to aldehyde, aldehyde to carboxylic acid. You gotta take the time to memorize those. You just do. What do we have to do to go from here to here? Anyone, anyone, anyone? It is addition. What are we adding in? Do you know? H on one carbon, OH on the other. It's usually H plus something, usually. One more, then I'm going to give you guys a few to try just to end things off. We ready? We ready? If you think all these examples look different, it's a lot of the same tricks just being recycled. There's only so many tricks in the trick bag. You got to be able to figure them out. So I'm going to draw 2 propanone and 1 propanal. Here's my trick bag. I know I've got a C double bonded O, which means I'm going to be either reducing or oxidizing somewhere in here. I got another C double bonded O. Here's another thing. I'm moving where the functional group is. So I have to know what reactions are used when I'm moving things.